ball will eventually find them. We'll get a few strip sacks. I'm not worried about that. Our D-line is getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback's faces, so I'm not worried about it at all.
And then Rutgers' offensive line is a little banged up. A lot of their offense is a little banged up right now. How are you guys able to potentially take advantage of that as a defense that, their head coach said is already a problem when you guys are healthy and consistent?
Yeah, I think whoever they put out there, they'll obviously be capable. Otherwise, they wouldn't be out there. But they got some good wide receivers, some tall receivers. We'll have to limit their timing on some throws, but it's a great opportunity to go out there and play on a Friday night.
Is this passing game? You mentioned stopping the run, but they've shown that they can throw the deep ball really well, and you guys have limited explosive plays really well. So how do those kind of things combat each other, and what's the focus when they've shown that ability?
Yeah, the first thing is just knowing your keys. If you're a pass guy, you obviously got to defend the pass first, not bite on the play action. That's where the main big plays come, and then comes back to getting pressure in the face, getting him off his spot, not letting him just stand back there and throw it deep, trying to make him move around there.
You feel like guys were flying around the ball against UMass?
Oh, 100%. Everyone was having a lot of fun out there for sure.
Is there a lot of Minnesota tape in there since the quarterback and OC had plenty of time up there as well?
Yeah, we've been watching a little tape from them. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, so that helps a little bit. He's a good quarterback, obviously a super smart OC, knows what he's doing, knows what we want to do. So we just got to try to limit the run and then get them off their spot after that.
Sure. All the talk about the lack of turnovers, but I think you guys are like 4th in the country in yards per play, 3rd in total. I know those are the numbers Phil really preaches, and I think only 2 explosive. How good do you guys feel about, the turnovers aren't there, but nobody's really getting past you guys through 3 games. How do you guys feel?
I think, the turnovers will come if everyone just does their job and is in the right spot. You can't try to force something that isn't there. If the quarterback's not throwing the ball deep, you're not going to get a turnover. But it just comes back to doing your job and just playing smart.
It feels like there's not a lot of missed tackles this year. I mean, whether it's you or Cohen just, bulldozing somebody, Carson's had those too. It just feels like there's not a lot of yak out there either. Maybe a back gets through the first wave and then doesn't get any farther. I know angles are such a focus too, but how have you guys felt about just tackling in general so far?
Yeah, obviously you can be better. And I missed a few last game, but it does come down to angles. Having your eyes in the right spot. Coach Ferentz always preaching that eyes, backside, hip. If you don't see them, you're not going to tackle them. So just keeping your head up and you'll make the right play.
I feel like at least as an offensive lineman, you really got to not worry about the outside surroundings, the noise, and where you're at, what time of day it is, what the weather is. So we kind of pride ourselves in just being able to be ready at any time and any place. We can play in the parking lot and go whip some butt. So, honestly, there's nothing too exciting about it. It's just play another game and do your job. So.
We feel like the offensive line's come together as a group 3 games in this year.
Pretty good. We're pretty good. I think just bringing in new guys, left tackle, right guard spot, we're going to hit some bumps here and there, and we just got to help them through it. And I think that's what's great about having the 3 older guys on the line is one guy starts freaking out because of something, we can kind of pull him back and be like, hey, this is the big picture. This is what you got to worry about, and it kind of settles them down a little bit. Other than that, I think we've been rolling well. I think we've been stepping together and picking up stuff, and as long as we're on the same page, we'll have a good game. So.
Do you like this short week? Personally, do you like the short week? Would you rather have it?
It's a challenge, and people will look at it as we got one less day, this is going to be harder. That's the type of people that usually don't succeed. If you see it as a challenge of, okay, we got one less day, they have one less day, and if we can make the most of it, then we'll come out on top. And that's kind of how the mentality you got to have, for a short week, I'd say.
You got all that time with Mason at left tackle. Now you got Trev in there. How's he been doing?
Pretty good. There's some times where I kind of forget that I don't have Mason in there anymore. So there's some times where it's like last year me and Mason were such on a good same page type thinking. So it's like something would happen, we wouldn't even call anything. We just know. Sometimes now where I'm like, okay, I gotta call this because he doesn't know yet. But they've been doing a great job. It's not like they've been was slowing me down or anything. They've been doing great. They've been helping me out and making me look good. So.
It seems like there was a lot more play action against UMass. What did you guys see that allowed you guys to have that success, and how do you hope to build on that?
Well, I'm no offensive coordinator, but I would say it's probably because they were coming worried about the run, and we could probably pass off of that. I'm no expert in that, but I think we've set it up pretty well. Just looking on the outside in when it comes to like offensive coordinating. I feel like we've set up the play action pretty well. We've ran the ball really well, and I think teams are starting to worry about it a little bit. So they'll probably start filling the box a little bit, and so we can probably use that to our advantage.
Definitely playing with some confidence, a lot of consistency, making good throws, and he's having a great timing with his receivers. 1, 2, 3, let it go. So just seeing him and how he's developed from when he was at Minnesota to now, he's doing a great job.
I think, speaking of confidence, I don't think you've played with more confidence, just based on how you've performed early. Did you kind of know when you felt like the light was clicking, or maybe you turned a corner that's kind of helped elevate you? Was it in fall camp? Was it in spring? Was there a moment where you said, okay, I'm starting to really piece everything together?
Yeah, I say it's probably more towards spring where I would finally put everything all together. It takes some time. The confidence was always there, but it was just about putting it into action. And, through spring ball, I really worked on that and carried over to fall camp, and then just trying to keep that going to now.
I know you guys measure turnovers probably differently than the actual stat category, whether it be 3 and outs, doing different things. How do you guys kind of not press too much, just knowing that you guys really haven't created the turnovers that you want to, but there's going to be opportunities there?
Yeah, and that's exactly what Coach Parker said. Turnovers will come. We don't want to press and try to force anything. Just as long as we're doing our job, our feet work is good, our eyes, our alignment, our keys, responsibility, then the turnovers will fall into our hands.
There's been a lot of yak, it feels like, against you guys. Just, tackling and angles, that's always the focus. But just, I imagine that's a point of pride through 3 games.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Parker, he preaches angles, leverage, running through the ball, finishing. And that also goes with guys running to the ball. We as long as you make the tackle, force it inside or force it to wherever the leverage is, you got guys most of the time, all the Hawkeyes running to the ball.
Sure. I think you guys are like 4th in the country in yards per play. It feels like, people want turnovers, and I'm sure you guys want turnovers, but nobody seems to be getting past you guys through 3 games. Is this just a confident bunch overall, not just yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole defense as itself is playing with a lot of confidence. We got guys coming in and out, and whoever's in there, we preach that we always got to keep the standard. And as far as the turnovers, we're going to work on that. We work on it in practice, but at the same time, we can't press and try to force the turnover. We know it's going to happen as long as we're doing our job.
Godfrey got his first, I think, live game action the other night. Just how far he comes, it feels like he's been elevating quite a bit.
Yeah, he's come along. That's my guy ever since he got in here. He's one of my locker buddies. But yeah, he's definitely grown, matured. I seen it in fall camp when I had went down a little bit, and he had to take a couple extra reps. And he did a great job, focusing on his footwork, his mental game, and understanding the game of football. And he's gonna keep growing and keep doing a great job. And I'm excited to see him in the future.
It's kind of similar to the UMass defense with the quarters and how they play man and stuff like that on 3rd down. So I think it's a good opportunity to go out there and win our one-on-one matchups.
How much does it help then that you play a team like UMass? It's a short week, there's a little less preparation, and there are similarities in the opportunities available?
I think it worked out pretty perfect, how it lines up, because the head coach was the old DC and stuff like that. So having that work out like that was pretty smooth, and it just helped the process of preparing.
It's kind of helped you guys knowing that you do have familiarity with doing a short week, because you guys play like Nebraska every Friday. Does that kind of at least give you some comfort about how the week's going to go and kind of how you prepare?
Yeah, we got some confidence going in, knowing that we got to be mature about our preparation, our recovery, and our just getting ready for the game, knowing that we have one last day. So.
I remember after the game, we talked about how Mark was really fired up on the sideline. I think after that first drive, you said he really sparked it. You like seeing how your quarterback. How have you kind of seen him and you guys as a whole kind of attack the first couple of days, knowing that you did put some stuff on tape? Teams are going to play a little bit differently. You guys were kind of rolling in the passing game.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to get something out there and having some points on the board to stack them, and just being able to go back to work today and yesterday. It was just good for us to get out there working.
After getting a big game like that as a receiver group, you guys talk about how much you worked in the offseason, how much competition there's been. How does a performance like that kind of just boost your confidence for the future?
Yeah, it was a confidence booster for sure, just knowing that, we can do it and we can go out there and perform like that. So just doing it on a daily basis is what we're striving for, consistency and being able to stack days.
I know KJ's been itching for that first career catch and finally gets it and all that.
Yeah.
Just, we started hearing about him in bowl prep. Just how far is he come in the last year?
Man, he's a great explosive dude. He's always making plays in practice, so it's not a surprise to me that he was out there, showing what he got.
Mark was talking about how, there have been a couple times through these 3 games where you guys are watching a team do one thing on film and then all of a sudden they decide to throw you something completely different. What's it been like adjusting to moments like that throughout the game a little bit for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, teams have been doing that, but we've been able to just make adjustments like in the game. Just now that we're like going and just, expecting them to do something different sometimes. So like, of course we're preparing for what we see on tape, but they can come out with something different and we're just gonna be ready for it.
Their defense has shown through the course of the start of the season a chance to leak a little bit, offer some big plays. How do you guys exploit that?
I feel like just being able for us to execute the plays that we have, called up is going to be big for us. And then, being able to pop a big play if we need to. And, we will. So I feel like we're going to be able to make some explosive plays.
How can your speed take advantage?
Shoot, just getting past defenders. You can't really guard speed if you're not fast enough. So I feel like getting by them is just a big opportunity.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, when you're just, kind of waiting, it's, you go from high school playing every single down, both sides of the ball, to you got to wait a little bit. But, yeah, I think a little bit comes from that.
Did you travel out there 2022 or not?
I did. I got some snaps in that game.
Okay. I was wondering if you remember how Lucas Van Ness played in that game.
He's a beast. Messed up that quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what you want to do this week, right?
That's right.
Just create some turnovers for your defense with pressure.
For sure. Yep.
How do you do that? I mean, their offensive line, I think, is a little bit shaky right now.
I mean, really, just same thing every week. We just gotta, get the calls, and Kibby is always crafting up some pass rush games. From what he sees from the offensive line, so it's just a matter of execution.
Feel good about he's really done a good job, it seems like, limiting your snaps thus far. Do you guys feel does that help you guys?
Yeah.
How so?
I think that's just, he tries to keep us fresh, and yeah, I think it's good.
We talked a little bit about how UMass was running some Rutgers stuff last week because there was a lot of the staff carryover from Rutgers. Is there a lot similar on the film that you're seeing so far from the Scarlet Knights to the Minutemen?
It's not so much UMass. The offensive coordinator from Minnesota, same guy, and then the quarterback obviously is from Minnesota. So it's a lot of the same stuff of Minnesota, cram, stretch. Not a whole lot of thinking. It's just going to be more of a physical game.
What's the challenge going up against their quarterback? You've seen him. You guys have seen him before when he was in Minnesota.
Yeah, he's got some games under his belt. He's real comfortable in the pocket. Does a good job passing the ball. So it's just a matter of disrupting him.
How far along is your pass rush? Because I think there was that play against UMass. You basically had one hand on his chest and you threw him aside. But maybe 2 years ago, that's not something you would have really felt comfortable with. You stuck to your spin move a lot. How much would you say your pass rush has really progressed?
It's been good. It's just been a matter of, we got iPads on the sideline, so it's after I throw some moves, it's I got to evaluate his pass set, and I saw that he was a little bit more patient with throwing his hand, so that gives me the green light to get it in first, and then it kind of worked. So it's been good.
How easy is it for you to make some of those in-game adjustments just on the spot like that? How much more comfortable are you doing that now than maybe in years past? Because like you said, you have the film with the iPads, you can kind of adjust on the fly. How comfortable are you with that?
I mean, a lot more comfortable, and I just feel like that gets down from getting reps in the game, and now that I got some reps, it's like second nature.
But that third down group that you guys have put together, I don't know what your guys are calling it now, but with Brian Allen out there, how do you feel that group's doing?
Feel great. I think every time, third down it's the favorite part. It's the best part about playing D-line is, getting out there and rushing the passer. So, there's no doubt in my mind that regardless of who's out there, there's going to be good energy trying to get after that quarterback.
What do you call it? Do you call it something? Or?
Third down group.
Creative. Doesn't have any special name anymore. Huh?
Nothing. No.
Coach Neiman was saying the other day, I asked him about you, and he said maybe it took you a little while to figure out how strong you actually are, which is wild to say about a guy who's 6'5", 270, whatever. But just what has that evolution been of figuring out, you don't need the spin move. I mean, we talk about that all the time. Like, you can overpower guys?
Yeah, it's just kind of been, when I got here, I was about 225, and, I was just so used to, trying to use finesse moves, and now that I got a little bit of meat on my bones, it's kind of opened my game up a little bit.
Is there anything you've done in the weight room that you're particularly proud of over the years?
I mean, just putting some good weight on is the big emphasis there. So,
what was your big jump gain-wise? Like what year?
My redshirt freshman year, I think I went from like 240 to 260 in the winter, which is a pretty big jump. I mean, that was a painful time period for me. It was just a matter of getting that scale to go up, no matter what it took. So
it's honestly a great feeling to get that first catch. Kind of shaking off the jitters and being able to get in the end zone means a lot. So I feel like it was just a real feeling. Being able to celebrate with my brothers, I feel like that was like the best part. Everybody just being happy for each other, and yeah, that was the best part about it.
Do you think you had your foot down on the first one?
I definitely did have my foot down. They didn't even try to review it, but it's all right. So just got to let it go, move on to the next catch, and yeah, but I definitely had it down for sure.
What's it going to be like playing on a Friday in a blackout?
Definitely looking forward to that game. It's a big game, first conference game, so that Big Ten game, and it's going to be a night game for us. So I feel like we're going to just come out there, be able to play with each other and play together, and I'm definitely looking forward to that.
You got 40 snaps the other day. Is that a vote of confidence, do you feel like, from the coaches?
Oh, yes, sir. I just feel like the coaches are believing in me, and I really appreciate that. I'm not going to take that for granted. I'm going to, being able to just capitalize on those type of things when they are, giving me those snaps and wanting me to get in the game like that. And I definitely appreciate the coaches to, put trust in me, be out there for that many times.
What can you do to fix the drops that you've had?
Definitely just dial in on, focusing on my hands more, just not taking my eyes off the ball. I think most times when I dropped the pass, I took my eyes off of it, and being able to actually look the ball in and being able to, just catch the ball, slow the game down for myself, and, just get on them jugs.
I mean, you're not the only one who dealt with some drops this last weekend. Is that a conversation that Coach Bud had with the guys or anything like that?
Coach Bud did mention it. He knows what we're capable of 100%, so he knows it's nothing we cannot catch the ball. It's just we just need to focus on details more for sure. I feel like he emphasized the fact that we need to look the ball in more, and when we went over film, he was just saying everybody needs to look the ball in more. Stop trying to, make a play before you, get the basics down with catching the ball first and then making the play, because, our eyes are going to do our work for us. We're just trying to move too fast, or I'm trying to move too fast for that part.
Where's your comfortability level at with Gronowski?
I'll say as far as 1 through 100, I'll say 100%. I believe in Gronowski a lot. He's a great guy off the field, and I feel like our connection, with the receivers, tight ends, even running backs, is so tight this year. Definitely tighter than most years. So I feel like that playing a big part to that definitely helps us out with chemistry and stuff like that.
What did he do to help build that chemistry for you guys? Because you're not the first one to say that you guys have gotten close with Gronowski extremely quickly. What did he do to make you guys so comfortable with him?
I say when he first came in, just honestly looking forward to be a leader, knowing he's going to have that big role as being our starting quarterback, and knowing how much pressure you have on your shoulders with that does take a lot. You can either choose to attack it or just let it eat you up as far as that. So I would say he came in with the right attitude, looking to just talk to guys, create connections. So I feel like it starts with connections and friendship, and then we all play football, so that's going to come naturally.
You've gotten a lot of time with Hank, though, I'm sure, as the season's got on. Just how's he grown just since showing up in December?
Hank is a very mature individual. I love Hank. I love everybody in the quarterback room, but Hank specifically, he's just a great guy, always looking for improvement, always looking to just always help us out any ways he can. Knowing that he's not starting right now, but he's out there, he's motivating us, he's telling us what we could have done better. So I feel like that connection with me and Hank is definitely going to be very strong.
That touchdown catch, did you know it was coming to you? Or?
I would say, yeah, I didn't know it was coming to me. It was a design play, and when we were talking in the huddle, Hank gave me that look you got to catch this one. So, yeah, just being able, he had that confidence in me, knowing that he knows what I'm capable of. Like I said again, I know I'm capable of catching the ball. It's just about doing it. So yeah.
The speed of the game, does that, I mean, your first time playing here, is it different than in practice? I mean, you're lighting it up against the scout team and all that.
I would say the speed, we practice with game speed all the time. I'd say the only thing is different that we're actually hitting, in the game. So you got to actually look out for people trying to hit you. So I would say the game speed, I'm used to the speed of the game. It was just honestly just getting the rhythm out there, to be honest. I wouldn't say I was nervous or anything. I was just more like anxious to make a play and end up being too anxious. And it kind of bit me on that one. So I would just say, just need to be able to calm the game down for me and just understand it more.
A couple of those guys I trained with back home, one was from Llewellyn, another place that we trained, but yeah, really good friends with two of them. And then another one was a kicker that I met when I first started punting in Arizona. So he grew up in Australia, but then he moved over here when he was young. He was a kicker, and then the snapper I'm good friends with too. So yeah, I try and get a photo with all the guys that I come across, and especially when they're Australian, and typically the guys that I know pretty well. So yeah, it's always good to get a photo and talk to them.
Yeah, I'm sure that means a lot being thousands of miles away from home, even as you've settled in here, just having those connections.
Yeah, and even like as a punter, we get each other. It's good to sort of talk to someone that knows the culture and has a part of where you're from. So yeah, it's always good to see the guys.
What did you identify on the block that went wrong on that play?
I don't want to point anyone out, but it's a team fault. We've just got to make sure we're ready each time. The punt is the ball snapped, so yeah, we can execute as a unit.
I'm sure you've seen that Rutgers has blocked, I believe, 3 punts so far.
Yep.
What's the focus, anything you're looking at film-wise against them for this week?
Not really me particular. I'm just making sure I'm doing my job and trusting my teammates to block for me and have a clean snap. So I think if we're all if we're all locked in and doing our jobs, then it's it'll be like any other year. We'll just execute.
Do you spend a little more time in practice this week working on punt protect or anything like that?
No, I don't think much has changed. We're a really good unit, and we're just going to keep, trusting ourselves and keep executing at a high level. So I don't think we're going to change much. It's it's the first day. We're sort of just starting up the schemes, but me personally, I'm not changing anything, and I don't think we'll change much either. We're just going to try and do it the best we can.
Besides the block punt, you didn't really get to be out there as much last week. I mean, what was that like for you, seeing the offense doing its thing?
Yeah, sort of got to be a fan for a day. It was good to see the guys working hard and succeeding. I had to be ready if my name was called, but I was I want to get out there. I want to be able to, be able to have a good, be able to do my part for the team. But me not being out there, it means we're doing well. So I'm happy also for that.
How do you feel like you punted through the first 3 games?
I thought the first game succeeded, did my job, and then the Iowa State game, first 2 punts weren't my best. Could have done better on those, and then I feel like I come back from those 2 punts though, had my career long. So I'd say it's going okay so far. I'm still improving on a few things. Sort of haven't punted as much either, so just going to keep making sure I'm ready to go.
What do you feel like on the first punt against Iowa State? Did you not get it cleanly, or what do you feel like?
Yeah, it was just a technical error. I'm human, so I make mistakes. But yeah, just got to keep working at the technical stuff and make sure I can produce a better ball.
Do you have a routine when you get to a new stadium?
What's that,
Do you
sorry?
have a routine when you go to a new stadium? Coming out the first time, is there a process for you?
No, we have a set pre-game routine. I do actually like to get a walk-in. I like to explore when we're at the hotel in the morning of the game, and if there's a coffee shop nearby, I'll go and get a coffee. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I like to watch a movie at the hotel, but apart from that, everything at the game and in the lead up is pretty similar.
Is that hard to go find a coffee shop close to a stadium? I guess I don't know stadiums enough to know are there a lot within just a few blocks?
It depends where we are. I'm not sure what part of New Jersey we'll be in this weekend. I think I heard we're close to the city, so
If it's within like I don't know, 500 feet or yards, or whatever you guys use, then I'll walk there. But if it's like a mile, then I probably won't do that. But yeah, I just look on maps and search up coffee, and whatever comes up. So yeah, I typically like to look at the reviews because I want a good coffee. But yeah, I'm not too fast. I just like going for a walk as well, exploring.
You do recon ahead of time, or just when you get there is when you kind of like look it up and do the research?
I do look it up before I leave.
Yeah.
Look for the best spot and based on reviews and distance of the shot. But yeah, I'm not too fast. But yeah, it's really just so I can get a walk in.
What's unique about kicking there, or is there anything?
Well, I don't fully remember exactly like what it was, but I think they had like a loud train horn or something, or I don't remember. I mean, I honestly like going into the game like 2 years ago, I didn't know like anything about like the atmosphere of Rutgers, and I was honestly pretty impressed with it the last time. I mean, it was a night game last time. I don't know how much like fan like I don't know cooperation they're gonna get this time, but like I remember like being impressed, like wow, this is kind of cool. Like it's different. I had never heard of it, so I didn't know what to expect. But I mean, I'm excited to go back there, especially in a night game.
What happened on the extra point when you kind of went back?
Well, I'll say this week I was like trying to drive my kickoffs more because like I remember like in practice I was like I usually like pop them up because I feel like our return unit's like really good and we can get them down inside the 25. And so I was like working on kickoffs, and I feel like on Saturday I like struggled to like make the switch between like on a kickoff you're supposed to hit it like higher, like if you want to like drive it more. And I mean I thought my kickoffs Saturday were really good. And I feel like it just rubbed off on field goals a little bit. So,
is that what? Do you feel like that happened on the I guess it was a 30-something yarder as well? Or
I feel like the 38 was almost like me over like correcting it, I guess. Plus that, I mean, I don't know. That's like I haven't missed like that in like a year, like to the right like that since last year actually. So.
How long was your deep one that we were
the 54?
Yeah. That seemed like it was like good for 65 somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I have a big leg. Like I'm trying to be humble here, but like that's I've always been told like that. It's always the accuracy part that I try to really focus on.
But when you hit that one, is that like, you know, we were talking about golf earlier, is that like just smoking a good drive where you're just like just nail that one?
Yeah. It's like, dang, like why can't I do that like every time, man? It's one of those where you hit it and you're like, ah, like you could look away because like you know it's going in. But I mean, yeah, I can kick it far.
How much harder is a 54-yarder than a 38-yarder?
I mean, I don't think a 38-yarder is harder than a 54. Maybe, I guess the only way maybe a kicker could think it's harder is like a 38's like expected to be made, and a 54 is like, I almost think of it as like a bonus if the guy can make a 54. So I mean that would be the only reason. But I've missed way more 50 plus than I have under 40s.
How are you trying to adjust so you don't have the like kickoff mentality kind of carry over?
Well, I guess like try to just focus on it. I mean, now that I'm aware of it, like I feel like, I mean, my last like 3 kicks of the game, I feel like I started to notice it, like, what did I do like differently this week? And I mean, that was like really the only conclusion I came up with. And like the last 3 kicks I thought were like pretty good kicks too, where I like really noticed like, hey, I need to like be like deliberate with this switch. But I mean, that's probably what I'll just do in the future. Now I'm aware of it, I feel like it won't be like too big of an issue. So.
You mentioned that you like tried to drive your kickoffs a little more. Is that something that just kind of changes depending on the opponent and their returner, or is it just...
Yeah, because well, sometimes the returner is like dangerous, and we just like don't want to like risk it, or maybe it's like end of half, and we don't want them to get any return like opportunities. So coach just wants me to like just drive it out of the end zone. So I mean, I'm not saying like we didn't take UMass seriously, but I just thought that was an opportunity to be able to try to do that before we get into Big Ten play.
How do you process a miss differently in this year compared to, you know, as you're a freshman or a sophomore or a younger, more inexperienced kicker?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's the reps that I have under my belt now. Like, I feel like now, like when I miss, like I know what to look for, because I have a lot of like form stuff like down, like crisp, like there's a lot of fixed, it's a fixed variable. I have a lot more fixed variables now that like aren't changing, so if something is off, then like there's usually like only a certain little places to look. So I guess that would be a difference between a missing now versus missing then.